Hello and welcome to season 7 of Travel Stories with Moush. In a year that has seen its fair share of highs and uncertainties, travel has taken on a deeper meaning. It is no longer about where we go, but how we connect with places, with people, but most of all with ourselves. At Travel Stories with Moush, our effort has always been to inspire and remind us how incredible and truly beautiful this world is. So if you enjoy these conversations, please subscribe and follow us on this journey. On this episode today, I'm joined by someone who has been pretty instrumental in the way a lot of us travel from this part of the world. Meerah Ketait is not only the head of retail and leisure at Dnata Travel, but she's also one of the most powerful voices in the travel industry in this region. On this episode today, I am very excited to talk to Meerah about what inspires people to keep traveling and exploring the world, and how Dnata, as a leading travel brand, continues to curate meaningful and purpose-driven experiences across the globe. Meerah, thank you so much for joining us on this episode today.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to just kind of dive in and ask you, travel is sort of back with a bang. It's a completely different world and it's evolved very, very fast and evolved very differently. What is your take on that?
Well, like you said, but there was a big bounce back to travel, a big interest from the customers to go back to exploring the immersive experiences, the kind of opportunities they're looking for, the bucket list they've been creating when they were thinking of, I would like to go here and I would like to explore that. A lot of people now are looking for travel not as luxury, but also a necessity in their life, and have lists of countries and specific towns ready to visit and explore, be it for a culinary experience, so a specific list of restaurants and cafes and unique corners around the world, or is it just the adventurous experiences? Is it gorilla trekking in Uganda or Rwanda, or is it witnessing the Great Migration in Kenya? So I feel like what has changed is people are really involved in their own way of travel, their own lens.
Yeah, no, that's very well said. And also I think people have realized the importance of time when you want to explore the world. And, you pretty much live and breathe travel. You're so involved with the industry and in the industry. So obviously the star question to you today is, where are you taking us on a journey today?
I'm taking you on a journey in one of my personal favorite destinations. I've been to this place more than 9 times, I would say now.
Oh, wow.
It's close to home. It's a 4-hour flight from Dubai, and it's the Maldives. So there is a conception about the Maldives that it is a honeymoon destination or is just for diving enthusiasts. But I represent a family segment. I'm a mother of 2. And when I go to the Maldives, this is the time where I would really unwind and enjoy my family time. And the Maldives has something to offer for everyone. People mistaken the Maldives as well for a destination where you'd just be reading a book on your sunbed or just enjoying peaceful, quiet time. But you can have that if you wish. But you can also have the most amazing kids clubs, the most amazing dining experiences, a really activity-filled schedule, and a lot of adventures, be it shark diving or whale watching or swimming with the dolphins. So plenty to offer specifically for the family. And I think what is really unique about this destination is if you really want to get away from the busy schedule in life and hop on a short weekend getaway, or there's a National Day break, or there's a short Eid break, and you want somewhere that is hassle-free, close to home. You don't want to get into so many airports and so many internal flights, and you would go to the Maldives. All the resorts that I've been to have the kind of facilities that it's an organized kids club activities. It is the kind of hospitality and service that will just make you feel taken care of. And also one other conception is people think Maldives is quite expensive and it would really dip deep into your pocket.
I'm so glad you're addressing that, because that was my next question. People really wonder, okay, she talked about Maldives. Oh, it's all fine. It's a great destination, but it's very expensive. So,
But not necessarily. And I think the thing is, if you understand what the destination has to offer. So when I talk about Kids Club, you have kids facilities from Hard Rock in the Maldives all the way to Ritz-Carlton or Patina. So the vast range of how much you can pay and what kind of experience you can get, and would you be interested in a speedboat versus a seaplane, would also determine the price of the holiday that you're spending on. There are hundreds of resorts in the Maldives. So if it's your first time going to the Maldives, doing your own research, you might come across quite expensive prices and be put back in that. But when you get the right consultation, you'd be able to have the right experience. And one more thing is, I think also representing the Emirati family community. When I go to the Maldives, I look for privacy as well. So we always opt in for beach villas as a family. And a lot of resorts in the Maldives offer a fully covered private beach villa with a beautiful lush of nature while you're still connected to the ocean and to direct access to the beach. So this is the beauty, I think, of the destination and the kind of comfort that gives families who would be worried about the privacy in such a massive island, let's say, or the kind of experience that their kids would have.
This part of the episode is brought to you by Constance Halavelli, and to celebrate Season 7, we're giving you the chance to experience it for yourself. 2 nights for 2 people at the breathtaking Constance Halavelli. Pure luxury, pure paradise. To enter, follow the terms in the caption and answer this question on our Instagram. Where is Constance Halavelli located? Answer correctly, follow the rules, and win yourself a holiday in paradise. It's that simple. Now let's get back to the adventure. I think, you touched upon some very key points, which I'm interested to talk about a little more. One is the personal touch, because in this world of and this age of AI and tech and all of that, I think we lose out on the personal touch, because I don't think AI can tell you what you have told us just now about, the privacy, the fact that you can go there on every budget. These are things that a lot of the times we miss out on. And that's the most important thing when it comes to Maldives. It's like, oh my God, it's expensive. Do we really need to go there? Can we afford it? That's one which you addressed. And another thing which I wanted to ask you is when I went to Maldives the first time, and I was looking around for, a resort to stay, I didn't find it at the time to be very family friendly, because a lot of the resorts that I wanted to go to were only like for couples. How do you tackle that? I mean, does Maldives have enough to kind of also welcome families with little kids who may be noisy? I know they have kids club, etc., but how many of those are around?
So there's plenty of them, I must say. And again, depending on the kind of holiday that you want, you could have kids, but you'll only want to travel as a couple and leave the kids behind. So there are resorts specifically cater towards that kind of travelers who would want more of a quiet, more of on dining experiences, more on the kind of experiences you would do as a couple, or be it, yoga at 6 a.m. or the kind of experiences you would do in the ocean. But again, I feel that it has something for everyone. And even when we talk about kids, you can have, the most active islands with kids clubs suitable for a certain age group. And then you would have other islands catering to older age groups as well. So more like the teen clubs, let's say.
Right.
And I think what really makes it special is the staff and the training.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, with AI and the technology, and we can't undermine how important it is, but the personal touch and the personal consultation adds a massive element and determining factor into where I understand your requirements and where you're looking for. So there's plenty to offer, and we see as well what works for a family with younger kids might not work with family with older kids.
Right. Yeah.
And even groups of friends, where we cater to a lot of group of ladies wanting to go on a girls trip, and they would enjoy the most luxurious spas that there are in the Maldives, or the most even budget friendly spas.
So would you say that Maldives is for everyone, really?
Absolutely.
Right?
I would definitely say it's for everyone. It is an experience that you have to do once in your lifetime at least. Whether you prefer an overwater villa or a beach villa, the view itself, the experience itself. I mean, every resort I've been into the Maldives are very, very friendly staff, hospitable people, and they compete quite highly with each other as well. So they're always on their A game with regards to customer service, because as I mentioned, it's a destination that survives on tourism, survives on a lot of people visiting from this part of the world.
Yeah.
And we living in the UAE gives us a big privilege that it's just a 4 hours hop away. So a lot of people could go on multiple times in the year, or on different weekends as well. You don't need a long summer break just to plan a Maldives trip.
Right. And you just said that Maldives is one destination that you must definitely do once in your lifetime at least. Now, which brings me to my next question is, in your experience and, from leading a travel brand for so many years, which destination do you think people must definitely experience once in their lifetime, at least from this part of the world?
I must say Japan.
Yeah.
And I know that it is now with the tourism numbers, it's quite intense. I believe they've welcomed around 37 million tourists last year. And we're already seeing forward bookings for a year or two in advance. I think there is definitely a capacity constraint on the number of tourists that the destination can welcome. And the destination is so rich in culture and history and just giving you an experience that, to be honest, not many destinations around the world would give you that experience. Cherry blossom, of course, is the highlight of Japan as a season. And we see that the tourism really rises for that. But people who would understand booking in advance for Japan means if you come in around the corner in Feb and try to get a ticket and a hotel to witness and enjoy the cherry blossom season in March, the chances are you're too late.
Right.
So it is a destination that needs pre-planning, that needs looking into what kind of bookings do you need to explore and what kind of experiences you want to be part of. Are you interested in the geisha performance? Do you want to be part of the tea ceremony? Or you're really interested just in the cherry blossom season? And I remember one of my personal memorable experiences in Kyoto was the bamboo garden. It was just a breathtaking experience.
Arashiyama.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was just an amazing experience. And I know this is one of the most overly populated places now. And Kyoto is going to even introduce lodging tax from that. So really, it is a star destination that is just growing more and more. And the pace of growth for this destination is just at a very rapid pace. But I believe it is a destination that would give you a very interesting culture and culinary experience, getting to understand the Japanese people and how they operate as well, getting to be grounded in such a destination with rich history and culture, but also very high on tech and innovation and anticipating consumers and tourist needs without even us dictating it or asking it from them is just out of this world.
I'm so excited you said Japan, because what's one of my favorite destinations in Arashiyama, the bamboo garden, you can hear the music, right? And it's just the wind, and it's literally like someone's playing music, but actually no one is. It's just the wind and the bamboos playing with each other. So that's magical. Now, when you said something very important about booking. So when do you think people should really book for a Japan trip? Because it's a big country and there are so many experiences that you want to indulge in. So what is the right time, and how do you advise people to sort of book a Japan trip?
Usually people are last minute bookers, right? The trend is getting better because people are more aware that if you wait last minute, the chances are availability will be a problem. Prices might be higher, especially I'm talking about airfare, right? But there are destinations like Japan where their tourism peaks at certain periods, such as cherry blossom, that will be challenging even for the destination themselves. So as early as possible, to be honest, because everyone has their own bucket list. If you want to do your classic route of Japan and you want to see Tokyo for the first time, and by the way, it has the best shopping ever. Or go to Kyoto and go to Osaka and experience the bullet train and do all sorts of things. This is your typical itinerary of a Japanese experience, let's say, and you need to book it ASAP.
Okay.
Unless you want to go to Disney Tokyo as well, and then we would be recommending around the seasonality of it. The weather would play a major factor into if you're taking your kids to such an experience, when is the best time to do it? So I wouldn't say there is an ideal time, but I mentioned to you, we have seen a year and 2 years bookings in advance.
Wow.
And this is how well people are prepared, and they understand that if you don't get a slot now, the chances are you've missed it for this year.
So, of course, now Japan, fabulous destination. Everyone who's listening, please book in advance, book ASAP if you've already thought about a trip to Japan. Now, also, off the grid destinations, travelers are traveling very differently. People are always looking for these very remote kind of places to go to, places that, hidden spots or however you may want to put it. But people want newer experiences. Everyone's wanting to travel very differently. And also, if I can say, very intentionally, So in your experience and with dnata, what are these really off the grid destinations that you have possibly kind of brought to the limelight, or are you offer to people and you tell people that these are the places you must go to?
I would say there's plenty of them, and specifically I would focus on Africa because a lot of the off-the-grid requests and off-the-grid experiences would reside in that part of the world where you can really enjoy an adventurous experience. You can live like a local. You can enjoy the kind of offering the destination has to offer. Gorilla trekking in Uganda or Rwanda.
It's life-changing, isn't it?
It is life-changing.
Yeah.
It is quite a physically demanding trip, I would say. You would be hiking. You need to be quite fit for it. If you have kids, they need to be 15 years and above. But it is hiking in the rainforest, trying to spot the gorillas in their natural habitat. So it's a really once-in-a-lifetime experience. This is not the kind of holiday you would take on every summer. But if you do it, it would change your perspective of so many things. And this is purely for the wildlife enthusiasts out there. They would really enjoy it. Next thing is the Great Migration in Kenya, where you would see millions of animals migrate from one place to another. And you would just witness it from distance and really get immersed into this natural experience where you would just witness it once in a lifetime as well. So those are the kind of experiences I feel that are off the grid, and we do get a lot of requests of those. I must say as well, cruise experiences are growing. And for those who just want to explore how does it feel to be on a cruise and what kind of experience it is, the immediate answer would be try the Gulf cruise, because this is where you would go in around the area without getting too adventurous, or you'd feel still sort of attached to understand to what is it that you would expect from Abu Dhabi, Sirbaniyas, Doha, Bahrain, and back to the hub. And it gives you that kind of experience that you're in a moving hotel. All of the facilities that you need are in the cruise. You also can cater to groups of families, friends and couples. So it caters to a lot of segments. But that's one interesting experience that I feel is definitely on the rise.
Yeah, no, that's very well said. I love the gorilla trekking in Uganda, and that's on my bucket list as well. And you're right, it takes a lot to kind of get there. First, decide to actually go there. In a way, it's quite off the grid. And then cruises is, I think it's a lot of education that is missing also for cruises, because people are kind of a little hesitant. And you're right, it's a growing market, and I'm sure you know better than a lot of us do that it's growing so massively and so fast. So that's a huge market out there. Now, another trend in travel, and I won't say trend, but another sort of aim for people is to have transformational experiences, transformative travel experiences. In fact, the gorilla trekking could be one of those life-changing experiences that we just spoke about. But what would be that one really transformational experience that you have possibly curated at dnata?
I would say definitely one of those experiences was chasing the aurora lights, and the aurora tourism is at its peak. So the solar cycle goes for 11 years, and the frequency of the auroras is at its peak in 2026.
Right.
So if you miss that, you have another 11 years to go until the 2030s for your next peak aurora frequency. And I do believe that this winter experience is something that is very much personalized to the kind of natural experience that you would want to witness, or what kind of winter holiday you're looking for. Lapland and what has to offer overall. This is the kind of bookings that we usually curate a year in advance. So people would definitely book way early in the year for next year's Christmas and New Year, and they'd be able to celebrate along with their family in such a beautiful setting.
So, the aurora lights, the northern lights, I'm sure everyone's now wanting to know, oh my God, we're in 2026 already. When should people go? When should people book? Are people late already? Tell us more.
So this is the year for the
Yeah,
aurora lights, I
yeah.
think. And I mentioned from 2024 up till 2026, this is the maximum aurora frequency, let's say, that the northern lights would be at a point where the tourists are interested in chasing the lights, and this is at its max. So this is the year. I feel that a lot of people have already done a lot of their own research about it.
No, sure. But also we're in 2026 right now. So all those people who are listening right now and haven't booked their, Aurora trip yet, do you think they're late, or they still can go ahead and book those trips now?
Well, I think depending on so many factors, departure dates, how big of a family they are. So definitely we'll be able to curate something that is suitable for them. The advice is always for such peak touristic places around the world is always to think of such plans in advance.
Okay, so whoever's not booked, you still have many more months now in 2026. So book as soon as possible is what we would say, because you have the entire year for the Northern Lights. Now let's move to, I guess, some underrated destinations, because I think we always talk about those destinations that are always on people's bucket list, those top destinations. And you gave away some really nice places and experiences that people would want to kind of explore. So which destinations, in your opinion, do you think are underrated and deserve sort of more attention in the travel world?
So I'll talk about two. One, it has been underrated, but it's been definitely on the rise, which is South Africa. And in 2025, this was one of the top-selling international trips in summer specifically. South Africa has so much to offer for great value of money. And unless you experience the destination, you will understand the beauty of the Cape Town coastline and the kind of safari experiences you can have, and how much of a friendly destination it is, the great food that you could have. I've had one of the best steaks in my life in South Africa, and for great value for money as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to go for a long summer holiday, you would always consider your budget as well. And South Africa is relatively a budget-friendly destination as well. I mean, you can definitely go on the luxury element as well, but there's definitely options in South Africa. We can have a very, very nice holiday at a very reasonable budget as well. The game drives as well there. The quality of the service, everything is at a position where customers are enjoying that experience. The next destination that I think is underrated, and we're still working on showcasing the beauty of it, is Morocco. I feel Morocco is a very vibrant, colorful, rich in culture and flavors country overall. You can go all the way from the bustling souks in Marrakesh to a very quiet luxury Royal Mansour kind of a resort in Marrakesh. So it has something for everyone, and it gives you that culture experience as well. The Atlas Mountains, the beaches, you name it. It is a destination that I feel not many people understand what to expect if you're going to visit Morocco or if you're going to Marrakesh. I mean, I talked about Royal Mansour a while ago, and I've personally been, and I think it is one of the most beautiful resorts I've ever been in my life. It really defines a quiet luxury. You have riads instead of the rooms. The hotel is beautiful from an architecture and elegance perspective. The hospitality is so excellent that even they've thought of the level of comfort for their customers staying in the resort, where they've built underground tunnels for the housekeeping and the serving team to go underground in that tunnel so that it's not visible and you're enjoying your privacy, your quiet luxury.
You're joking.
It's out of this world,
Wow.
honestly. And yes, Morocco has, as I mentioned, different budgets to cater to. But if you're really looking for quiet luxury, this is one resort that you must experience once in your life.
Well, you just transported me to that resort, and I forgot my next question now. But oh my God, that's spectacular. I mean, what a beautiful description of Morocco. I think, yeah, you are right. It is definitely underrated, because South Africa, yes, people talk about, but Morocco is something, not very many people talk about. I'm so glad you spoke about that. Now, also when you spoke about South Africa, you spoke about the amazing food there. And it's known as a culinary destination, which brings me to my next question now. A lot of people travel for food, culinary experiences have kind of become so important for people. And it's one of the main reasons why a lot of people travel. But there are destinations which are specifically curated and positioned as culinary experiences. Which ones do you kind of really promote and you really feel strongly about as great culinary destinations?
So I personally believe calories don't count when you're traveling.
Yeah, true. I agree.
So
Yeah.
you enjoy and indulge in eating.
Yeah.
And you're right, people travel for food. I must say Thailand is
Yeah.
one that is super rich in a culinary experience. You can go from Michelin star restaurants to a family-run, small street food kind of
True.
experience,
Yeah.
and the aroma of the lemongrass, the heat of the chili, the sweetness of the coconut, that combination is just, fulfilling.
Yeah.
It fulfills your taste buds as well. And you honestly stop counting calories when
Yeah.
you're there, because you can enjoy a simple, healthy papaya salad, or you can have your sticky mango rice and indulge in it. So this is a destination where we see a lot of people enjoying going out and eating. So they would opt in for a hotel that is close to be it the food markets or the night markets or where the best restaurants are. And this is definitely something that is on the rise. Second destination, I would say Italy. It is the soul of slow food and indulgence.
Yeah.
Your tiramisus, your pastas, all sorts of carbs, I would say, but
Yeah.
really good quality food. It's known for that. Whether you're in Rome or Florence, it equally offers that experience across. And in Italy specifically, we have designed lots of itineraries where people go on just pure culinary trips. They're interested to understand how pasta is made. They're interested to join a dough rolling class, or going to a kitchen run by a really old Italian grandma that can give you the secrets of how she creates the best dishes
Yeah.
that she serves to her own family. And this is the richness of travel, right? This is why people enjoy experiences
True.
like that.
Yeah.
You don't have a checklist of just a traditional sightseeing. And that might be great as well if
Yeah.
it's your first time in Italy. But you'd be missing out a lot if you don't go into the culinary part of it, because that's a big part of what the country has to offer.
Exactly. And it is so soul satisfying. And, you mentioned two dynamic, spectacular countries when it comes to food, Thailand and Italy. And I think those are also for every pocket and easy on the palate for everyone as
Yes.
well, So that's great. Also this year, it's kind of, swaying by so fast. And it always happens that, as the year goes by, people kind of realize, oh my God, we didn't go here, we didn't go there. So, what is next for you in this year, and what's coming up in 2026? What should we look forward to?
What really excites me about 2026 is the UAE announces the Year of Family. And there is no better way to connect as a family than to travel. So we in dnata Travel are big advocates of this. We want to help you make memories as a family together. We want to make sure that you have the time of your life. We want to make sure your kids are having fun as well, because soon they'll grow up and maybe have their own plans.
Yeah.
So really making best out of the theme of the year, the year of family. The wellness travel is also big. A lot of people travel for their well-being, also experiential travel as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I love family travel. I think we forget, right? And in this humdrum of life, we sort of forget that family travel is so important. Making memories is so important. And yes, wellness is a big one that you just pointed out, and experiential travel. Wow, that's been an amazing journey with you today, Meerah. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. It has been a wild ride, to say the least. So thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope our conversations have fueled your wanderlust and inspired you to travel the world in new and exciting ways. Please don't forget to hit on that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let us know what you thought of today's episode. Until the next time, stay safe and keep adventuring.